3, 2, and 1. Good evening, Nintendo and Amiibo fans too. Amiibo and Nintendo fans. We can do both. We have Amiibo news to cover tonight.
It's true, we do.
We have lots of Amiibo news.
Jason's very excited about
I am super excited.
Yeah.
Incredibly, amazingly, awesomely excited. Lots of words.
Enthused, yes.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Amiibo Jason here, as always, with...
Lauren, also known as Happily Candied.
Happily Candied, how the heck you doing tonight?
I'm doing really well because we are surrounded by people that we love, people we worked with before, and I'm so excited to introduce everybody today.
We have a lot of people here tonight. We also have a decent amount of news to cover. It's been a bit since we've done a newscast.
Yeah.
We're still waiting with bated breath for the NX. We're still waiting for Pokemon Sun and Moon. We're still waiting on Paper Mario Color Splash, Game of the Year 2016. We're waiting on a lot of things to happen, but we do have some good stuff, too, including lots of new Amiibo news, some relatively new Pokemon Sun and Moon news. We have new toys, and we love toys.
Oh, gosh.
You have to have toys.
We have addictions, toy addictions.
Custom Conquest is back. That's super exciting. And then I think another piece that we can cover is the Nintendo Famicom Mini that was just announced. I already imported it, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes about how you can import it, too.
Big surprise.
Because you want it. You definitely want it.
How could you not want it?
I want it.
It's beautiful.
And I'm going to get it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because I get it.
I believe it.
So why don't we go into our introductions first? We have, like we said before, a room full of people here.
So I'm going to introduce them and you can scoot.
I don't want to scoot. You did that last time.
Well, because you're going to be on here more than me anyway. So
because I'm the hostess with the most.
You are. Yes, sure. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to invite two people. I'm going to have Bobby and Jess come on. You can just say hi. You can just say hi. I just want to introduce you because you've contributed to Nintendo Wire. So first of all, I want to introduce Bobby Soto and Jess Anka. I pronounced that correctly, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. Get out of here. Okay, so I just want to introduce Bobby first. Bobby is a newer writer for the Nintendo Wire team, although just like I always tell our team members, it feels like he's been around for basically the entire existence of Nintendo Wire. And so I just want to let you know that we appreciate everything you do. And Bobby contributes as much as he possibly can in between his busy life. He is a creative in every sense possible. If you want to I guess go into a little bit of detail about what you do, and we're just so honored that you are able to contribute when you can for us.
Yeah, sure. I'm an animator, a cartoonist, a comic maker, a writer, voice actor. I mean, it sounds like a lot of things, but I mean, I just have a lot of interests. So I have a lot of diverse, things.
That's awesome.
About to be a teacher too.
Oh my gosh, you just keep the list keeps growing.
Yeah, I'm just doing this thing in my local library. I'm going to be running a workshop to teach kids animation, so like intro course animation. So
that's amazing. So like I said, he is a creative in every sense, and that's why we're so excited to have him here. And he's going to jump in the newscast a little bit later on to talk about some stuff with Jason later. And right here is his girlfriend, Jess Anka. She is honestly one of the sweetest and most wonderful people I've ever met. She's incredibly talented herself, also an artist, and she happened to create a gorgeous piece of artwork for us. We named it Poke Paradise because it's so beautiful. It is this beautiful compilation of all the starters from Sun and Moon, and it can actually be purchased in our web shop online, and we absolutely adore it. As soon as we saw your artwork, our jaws dropped. And
she's a lot better artist than I am.
Oh my gosh, she's wonderful. So if you want to just say like what you're up to and everything, and
I'm a junior designer at Plushies right now, so that's kind of been consuming my life, and I'm loving every minute of it. And it's interesting because I remember that day I posted that doodle of you guys.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I guess it all started.
It is, yeah. And in fact, I'm so glad that you're actually holding hamburger right now because one of the jokes between Jason and me is that he's team hamburger and I'm team cinnamon roll. And Jess captured that. I think at the time I just had cinnamon roll. Did he have hamburger?
I think he had hamburger.
He did? Okay. And she did this adorable sketch of Jason and me. That's how we kind of first became aware of Jess and her adorable talents and wonderful talents. And she actually is the reason why Bobby is working for us.
Also thank Bobby because he kind of forced me to post that.
Oh, really? Well, I'm glad you encouraged her. It's honestly one of those really symbiotic relationships when it comes to, I guess, like just sharing talents and giving back, and we're just so grateful to have both of them here. So thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see you, Bobby, then in a little bit. Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Hey Zach.
Next up. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
This, as you may know, is Zach Hendricks. And Zach joined us, Jason and me, last year for the previous, it was the second Customs for a Cure.
Yep.
And we were stoked to know that he was able to make it back here because all these people live rather far away. It's not terrible, but it's a drive.
Yeah, it was like, there was like no traffic, so I actually made it way faster than
Oh,
I
good.
intended. It took like an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad at
I
all.
know, Google Maps was like an hour and 35, so I cut 20 off, so that's pretty good. I
That's
guess.
awesome. Well, we're so happy to have you here. And
I'm glad to be here.
oh, yeah. And I mean, like, he's contributed so much for Customs for a Cure, and he is... I feel like he's the life force behind us all here because last year when Jason and I were struggling to remain awake for the event, Zach was the one who was just like, hey guys.
Well, you might have been asleep, so you might not remember, because I still don't know where you and Jason went, but I was by myself for a solid hour
We
last
were
year.
so tired. You know what we were doing? We were chilling by the coffee maker. We were like, we need a break.
I did have an entire I was like an hour and 10 minutes by myself
oh
last
my
year.
gosh, I don't know
And
how
I
you
was
did
like,
that.
Yeah, I don't either. I was like, I'm trying to respond to things, and I'm playing Mario Kart.
Why did you want to come back? I mean, you were so excited to come back.
It was fun,
It was
and it's
fun,
a really
yeah.
good cause,
Awesome.
and it is really fun too.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're so happy to have you back. Thank you for coming here
Oh, yeah.
and hanging out with us and obviously keeping the stream alive for us. Awesome. We are like an extended part of the Nintendo Wire team, so we just want to let you know that we appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like the third cousin once removed type
Seriously,
thing.
yeah, that's what it is.
Like I show up at the family reunions, but
That's exactly what it is.
how's he related? He won a championship or something.
Oh my gosh, that's the best part about Zach being here is that if there's ever a dull moment, he will he'll use voices and sound effects like his very own to help like motivate us, and it really does keep us going from segment to segment. So
That's true.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate that you appreciate
Oh,
that.
thank you. Okay, well, I think we're gonna have Jason come back. Matt, you're piecing out on this. You're good. Okay.
Am I piecing out on this right
Yes, right now, and then we'll call you back. Then.
Get
Bye,
out
buddy.
Aw, man.
Oh no.
You always yelling at me and
Get
saying
up
all this
on
stuff.
out of
I
here!
just don't know how I feel about it.
This is what it's like all the time. So anyway, oh my gosh, Jason's been saying that for the last like 24 hours. Like all I'm hearing
I saw this
morning, noon, and night is that.
It was a Rick and Morty behind the scenes documentary, and Dan Harden, who is one of the coolest guys ever, he was saying that over and over and
Yes.
over again.
I know, because you're saying it over and over
And
again.
it's
pretty
it's
great.
my new favorite thing. It's my new favorite thing. Rick and Morty is one of the best TV shows ever.
And with that, we're gonna actually segue into St. Jude and
Into Rick and
why,
Morty.
why we're here right now
Yeah.
for Customs for a Cure and why this live stream is taking place.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to point out here, about 2 years ago, I did Customs for a Cure for the first time on my very own. And it was much smaller than this. It was essentially a handful of custom amiibo that we put up on eBay. We raised about $400 or $500 for St. Jude, and it was an awesome time. I wanted to do it bigger and better, and we brought Lauren on. We had this amazing new team at that point with Nintendo Inquirer before we turned into Nintendo Wire, and we did our first 24-hour live stream starting last year. And that was our biggest Customs for a Cure to date. But what led up to that moment really set everything in motion about why we did what we did. St. Jude heard we were doing Customs for a Cure again.
Yep.
We got a phone call from a gentleman named Zach from St. Jude, and he flew us out to Memphis, Tennessee, to the St. Jude headquarters, to their main hospital. We got to tour the facility. We got to meet some amazing people. We got to hear a lot of amazing stories. But most importantly, it really made us understand why we were doing what we were doing, and it really kind of cemented it in. Because when I did the first Customs for a Cure for St. Jude, I thought, maybe I'll do something for another hospital the next time. But going to St. Jude and seeing with my own eyes what they do for these families, what they do for these kids, what kind of facilities they have for these families and these kids is mind-blowing. It's outrageously generous what they do. And the only way they can do it is with your help, majority of their money, I think they said it was like 80% of the money that comes in is like under $30 donations.
Yes.
From individual donors.
But all those small donations add up to a lot. If it wasn't for all those donations, they wouldn't be able to work towards finding cures for these terrible illnesses. They wouldn't be able to house entire families for sometimes years at a time while children are recovering. And something that a lot of people don't realize is that even though it's called St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, it's actually a hospital dedicated to helping illnesses for people of all ages. So it's important to know that all of your donations, 100% of your donations for this charity are going directly to St. Jude to help people from pretty much all over the world. And the stories found within this one organization are the most incredible stories ever. And I wish we could share them ourselves, but if you want to find out more about St. Jude, definitely head on over to stjude.org. And we have the link down below for, there are several links pointing you directly to that site. So we highly recommend popping on over there, seeing what St. Jude is all about and what we are very passionate about and what the staff at St. Jude is passionate about. And everyone here is very, very supportive of everything St. Jude is doing for the children and everyone who is in need of help and comfort within the organization.
And if you'd like to donate, even if it's not during this event, you could be watching this weeks after, for all I know, you can still click the link in the description and still donate to St. Jude. It's not necessarily going to have to be something you have to do during the broadcast or during the 3 days that we're doing Customs for a Cure this year, but they're a fantastic organization, and they deserve the money. I absolutely promise you. But now we get to go into what we always get to go into. Yes. That's the fantastic world of Nintendo news. There's some cool stuff I want to talk about.
We want to talk about it.
No, I want to talk about it.
We want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we both do want to talk about it. Pokemon Sun and Moon is coming out in November. The hype train is slowly leaving the station.
What?
Yeah,
I would say it's picking up.
It's picking up.
Are you serious? It's picking up.
We're getting miscellaneous little pieces of information week by week.
Yeah.
Generally in the form of a video.
Yeah.
We got some leaks from Korokoro magazine in Japan. Mm-hmm. But obviously we have a lower forms of Pokemon. We have a whole lot of new Pokemon. I think the last number I was up to was like 66.
Okay.
Different forms Pokemon. Gosh. So that includes the Alolan forms, that includes the Radiant forms of like the legendaries, that also includes the, oh my god, what are they called? The Ultra Beasts that they've announced.
Yes.
Which I'm not a major fan of at this point, but I'm still excited to see where it's going with the Ultra Beasts. Yeah. But the merchandise is finally trickling in too.
And this is the exciting thing. The merchandise actually came out on October 1st, which is today right here. But it's actually October 2nd there now in Japan.
I'm going to put the image up so you can keep talking.
Yes, no problem. So the starter plushes and the legendary plushes were officially released at Pokemon Centers in Japan on October 1st, which was technically yesterday in Japan. And lucky for us, our wonderful team member and beloved writer, Ricky, he's actually living in Japan right now, and he had the luxury and the privilege of heading over to his local Pokemon Center to snap some pictures for us, and he had some hands-on experience with the Pokemon plushes. So very soon, I'm thinking maybe tomorrow, because we've been so crazy with Customs for Cure, I haven't had time to work on the photos, but he took some photos for us of all the plushes, and I think there are 5 in total. You have Litten, Poplio, Rowlet, Lunala, and Solgaleo. So all 5 plushes are now in Pokemon Centers in Japan. As far as we know, there is no word yet on an official release date for US. But as Jason and I were talking about a little bit earlier, we're pretty sure that with the release of Sun and Moon it's within less than 2 months now in the United States and pretty much worldwide, all those plushes and all that merchandise, it has to be heading here sometime very soon. So as soon as we get word of that, we will definitely share it with everybody, with you on Twitter and NintendoWire.com. So you stay tuned for all that fun info. We're excited to share more of that with you. But for now, we're just really enjoying pictures from Pokemon Center and Ricky. The plushes, we are happy to report, seem to be very good quality. They're pretty large. If you take a look at the Lunala image, She has I'm calling it a she. It just sounds like a girl to me. Lunala has a very wide wingspan. I remember seeing some of the promo photos that Pokemon Center or one of the retailers posted a couple of days ago, and her wingspan was it looks larger than 2 feet long. I was really surprised with what a large plush she was. And Solgaleo looks pretty cool too. We were talking in our team chat a couple of days ago. Actually, it was probably even longer than that. With Tom, and he is one of our other editors, and he was saying that Solgaleo kind of looks a little frumpy because where he's supposed to have like some pointed spikes around his mane. The plush material actually makes it look a little bit rounded. He does look a little bit frumpy, but he still looks really cool. The Pokemon Company did a wonderful job with these plush designs, and we are very excited. Hopefully we get hands-on with some of these soon.
Very soon.
Yes, very soon. I'm very excited about this.
There was more plushies than you could shake a stick at. So I have them up on screen right now, as many as I could fit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was a photo that just did not want to go on the screen just right. So these are the two that you can see. You have the starters, you have Lunala, very, very cool Pokemon plushes. Again, I'm thinking we're going to see these at some point too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it too because anytime there's a new generation, I love the idea that there's so much new merchandise coming out. But I'm waiting for the Alolan Raichu plush.
That is the one.
I can't wait.
Yes.
I am so excited.
Do you think we're going to see that before launch, or do you think we're going to see that? No, it's going to be after launch.
It'll be after.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it'll be on launch.
Yeah.
I know like all the Pokemon centers in Japan are having like these major launch events, and I'm guessing there's going to be more plushies than you can shake a stick at. So maybe then.
Yeah.
But Japan gets all the good stuff, man.
They get the good stuff, and they either get it solely or they get it first, and they definitely got it first this time. What are you looking for?
Where is here's Bulbasaur.
There's Bulbasaur.
So this is like the super fluffy Bulbasaur plush that was released in only Japan, at least that I've seen. There's a whole series of these like super cuddly, fluffy versions of Pokemon. It's only Japanese though. Like they're only in the Japanese Pokemon Center, and that's like a total bummer for me.
I don't blame you.
Luckily, Ricky, who's in Japan right now, he found Mew. There's a Mew version of this cute little one.
Which I know you have been just lusting after for like the last couple of weeks. You really wanted it.
I want them to bring Pokemon centers to the States again. I understand that Nintendo New York technically has like a tiny little Pokemon center upstairs now. It's not the same. I really want to see that exclusive monthly merchandise that they have in Japan. It's so high quality.
Yes.
It's so amazing, and I think it would definitely, I think with Pokemon Go, with how crazy that is, with Pokemon Sun Moon, the hype that has, even if they wanted to like test the waters with maybe some like pop-up locations like they're doing with Kirby Cafe in Japan, I think that would be a good idea.
I think it would be smart to just have at least 3 Pokemon centers. You have the East Coast, you have Central America, so the Midwest, and then you have the West Coast.
Yeah.
And I think that if you had one location in every region, it would really cover all the bases. I mean, people would make the journey. They would trek that to visit Pokemon centers, especially if you make it something as nice looking and as presentable as Nintendo World Center. And I mean, Japan knows what it's doing. I've seen the pictures that Ricky sent us of these beautiful establishments. Pokemon centers, they go all out with their merchandise and their displays. So it'd be really incredible to see that in the US sometime.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the Pokemon Go hype, I can see people leaning a little bit more towards supporting the idea. I mean, people have been wanting it for a long time, but now we have so many different generations of people coming together to celebrate Pokemon. So
we do have the Pokemon Center website that's relatively new.
Yeah.
And we're
in
getting
the US,
we're getting monthly merchandise through that. It's not the high quality stuff that I'd like to see.
Yeah.
The plushies are pretty standard for the most part. Nothing to write home about in my humble opinion.
Speaking of high quality, I have to show off my custom Rowlet.
Oh yeah,
plush.
show that one off.
I commissioned this off of Etsy. The cool thing about this, I'm gonna have a hard time saying the shop name. It's like Pico something. It's a very long name, but I have it up on Nintendo Wire, so I wrote a whole article about this little Rowlet plush. But way before any of the official Pokemon Center plushes were announced, within 24 hours of the starters being announced back in May, fan art started popping up, and one of the pieces of fan art that popped up was this customizer in Mexico made this little sleepy Rowlet plush. I fell completely in love. I knew it was the only Rowlet plush I would ever want, and I contacted her back in May. Took a couple months, and she this little Rowlet just arrived a few days ago.
It's
And
very cool.
It is awesome.
It's a sleepy rollet. It's
It is-
really
yes.
adorable.
And
It's softer than you would imagine,
yes,
too, for something handmade.
It is made out of a very beautiful minky fabric, and I'm completely happy with this.
I'm
Though.
going to see if I can get it a little closer
Yeah.
to the camera here.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Isn't it adorable?
We can set it right there.
Oh, I wish it would stay there.
It is very cute.
I know.
Yeah,
No, but this thing has been coming with me everywhere. I can't. I just love photographing it. So if you can imagine, with all these adorable starter plushes popping up,
Yeah.
and becoming even more, I guess, readily available for people, we're gonna start seeing a lot of really cool photos and fan photos from a lot of people from all over the world
Yeah.
now.
It is not. It is. It's a really cool piece of merchandise.
It is.
I'm waiting to see when all the other plushies are gonna make their way over to the
Yes.
U.S. I would imagine it would be soon.
It has to be soon, and we have less than. It's like a month and a half or
Yeah.
less than that.
There's so much merch coming out. We have a Steelbook coming to Amazon. We have a 2-pack that's coming to every other retailer. Pre-order bonuses at GameStop.
Yeah.
We have the Z Ring. We have the Z Crystals. We have so much. There's more than I can even say at this point. You got the limited edition console.
Oh my gosh.
You got the cases. You got the 3DS covers. Trust me, there's so much stuff coming out for Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
If you're into anything that's probably Sun and Moon branded. So we have that. I also want to talk about the Pokemon Go Plus. The Pokemon Go Plus just launched about a week and a half ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I think. It seems like it's been.
You want to grab
longer.
the box?
Yes.
So we have the Pokemon Go Plus right here. I've been using the Pokemon Go Plus since day one. It's an
Yes.
interesting piece of hardware.
It was addicting at first, wasn't it?
It was. The Pokemon Go Plus allows you to really take advantage of going outside without having to be stuck looking at your phone all the time.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I'm running in with this, and if you guys don't understand what this is, and you probably do at this point, but just in case there's one or two of you that don't get it, you put this on your wrist, or you connect it to your belt, or wherever you want to stick it. Connect it to your phone via Bluetooth, and you can put your phone in your pocket. It's going to vibrate. If there's a Pokemon or a Pokestop nearby, you push the button. You get whatever items are at the Pokestop, or you can get essentially the chance to catch a Pokemon.
Yes, and it lights up different colors to notify you what kind of activity is going on. So if there's a Pokemon nearby, I think it lights up green.
It's green for Pokemon.
If there's a Pokestop, it lights up blue. And if there's a brand new Pokemon that you haven't yet caught, it lights up yellow.
I've yet to see the yellow,
Yes.
but
one
I have
day,
most of the Pokemon.
One day. So it's kind of cool. It probably saves little battery life, saves a lot of time pulling out that phone and being on your phone. And it hooks up to your notifications, right?
Yeah.
So as you collect these Pokemon, it keeps a log of all the activity that your Pokemon Go Plus has. And it's definitely a nice type of device. It's a lot more simplistic than I thought it was going to be. When I heard there was going to be a device, I actually thought it was going to be more complicated. There's going to be a small screen, and I'd have a little bit more options for activity. But it makes sense, obviously, if you want to have something on the go, like for Pokemon Go, you want something very simple.
I have a couple issues with this
Yes.
device. And
you?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
I believe it. I believe it.
There's a few things.
Okay.
Number one,
Go for it.
Pokemon run away like crazy. All the time. And the reason they run away like crazy is because you can only use Pokeballs. I thought it was going to
No, it's
get
fine.
knocked out. You can only use standard Pokeballs. If you run out of standard Pokeballs, you cannot use the Plus anymore.
Yeah.
I had that happen many times, and I had over 100 Great Balls.
Wow.
I had 50 Ultra Balls.
Yeah.
And it said, you don't have any usable Pokeballs, you can't use this.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, how it should be set up is if there's a high CP Pokemon, it should let you set it so that it automatically throws a Great Ball.
Yeah.
Or an Ultra Ball. Or if it's a Pokemon you don't have, throw an Ultra Ball.
Yeah.
Not a Pokeball. I absolutely hate that. And I honestly think one of the reasons they do that is so that they can get people to buy more Pokeballs, because you will be throwing Pokeballs left and right with this device.
Yeah.
If you're taking it out and walking, you'll be throwing more Pokeballs than you even conceivably imagine.
Yeah.
I had over 100 Pokeballs, and I used them all in an hour and a half. I didn't even realize it before this thing kept telling me, you have no Pokeballs.
I think it gives you 2 notifications or something like that.
Yeah.
By the way, you can't use me anymore, and then that's it.
But I'm I have 150 other Pokeballs.
Yeah.
Let me use the other ones.
Yeah.
But again, you cannot buy Great Balls or Ultra Balls in the shop. You can only buy Pokeballs. So my conspiracy theory behind that one is they want you to use Pokeballs only because you can just buy more.
Yeah.
That needs to change, especially when I'm spending, $34 on this device. It should let me customize it. Mm-hmm. That part needs to change.
Yes.
Besides that, it's a pretty cool device. I wish the catch rate was better.
Yes.
But it's definitely neat. It's a cool companion app for sure.
Do you think that they will change it so it'll extend to other Pokeballs?
I think so. They did announce that you can use, I think, fragrance with it now.
Okay.
Or incense. So I think that was an update that they made with it.
That's
so
nice.
that
Okay,
they added
so
some
they
sort
are
of incense
adding
capabilities.
updates to it. Okay.
So I do think we're going to see something new. But Pokemon
Yeah.
Go has been out since what? When did it come out? In June?
I want to say, has it been that long?
It's been a
Really?
while.
It might have been back in June then, yeah.
I'm really surprised we haven't heard anything about Ditto, the legendary birds,
Yeah.
Mewtwo, Mew, any of that.
Yeah.
It makes very little sense to me that for a game like this, that they're allowing their user base to disappear.
Well, we did speculate that they were probably going to ridiculously stagger the releases. And I mean, we figured, you told me that it was going to be a long time until we even saw Generation 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, I get that with Generation 2,
Yeah.
but the hype is dying.
Yeah.
Not totally dying. There's still
Yeah.
lots of people playing, and a lot of people still want this device.
Yes.
But for God's sakes, release one of the legendary birds.
Yeah.
Or Mewtwo or Mew. Remember the ads that when all those people were in Times Square?
Yeah.
And they were throwing all the Pokeballs at Mewtwo, and all the Pokemon were attacking. Just amazing scene. And we have nothing close to that. We have no player versus player yet. There's so many interesting things I think they could do to bring some of the user base back.
Yeah.
And there's 7 generations of Pokemon now. We have over 850 Pokemon. I think we're over 900 now
Yeah.
with the new ones. It's not like they're gonna run out. I'm just surprised they're not finishing up this gen.
Well, I think it's important for Nintendo and the Pokemon Company to remember that it's incredibly necessary to keep those major updates coming consistently. Because if you do that, you're going to be able to maintain your user base.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's common knowledge by now that the user base has dropped dramatically, and Pokemon Go is no longer no longer holds the #1 spot as the app in like iOS. Which, I mean, it's fine. It was going to happen sooner or later. But at the same time, if they would be more consistent with these bigger updates and even keep people interested with one new big Pokemon, it would bring people back consistently. Because right now you have people in this very, very happy phase, nostalgia phase in their lives. So if they're not in the younger generation now, where when they're the first, this is the first time they're playing Pokemon and getting introduced to the franchise, then they're our generation coming back and reliving their childhoods. And if they want to keep that alive, it's so important that they keep those releases consistent.
Well, the reason I really don't use it anymore, the reason
Yeah.
I don't play it, is in this area.
Yeah.
In mostly in the Milwaukee area, I've caught everything there is to catch.
Yeah.
And there's no player versus player, and the gym battle system is so ridiculous to the point where if I beat a gym 9 times out of 10, somebody puts a Pokemon on top before I can heal my Pokemon up to get it on top
Again,
first.
that could be fixed with just roll out those updates a little bit more. Keep
All you have to
people
do-
interested.
All you'd have to do to fix that is give the player 30 seconds
Yeah.
to claim the gym. Whoever beat the gym, give them a 30-second time frame to put a
Yeah.
Pokemon on top. You're done.
You're
you don't have to
done.
worry about people
You're done.
sniping. Have I sniped? Yes.
Sniper, no sniping.
I've done it. I've made some people pretty mad by doing it consistently. I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, I heard many laughs. Many laughs.
It was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny.
But it's definitely something that I think we're going to see improved.
Yeah.
I want them to be a little bit more vocal about when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's very soon going to be winter. I mean, we're into fall. I don't want to be trekking out for Zapdos with 2 feet of snow in the Wisconsin winter. So, Niantic,
Pass.
please put it out. There you go. That's our Pokemon news for the
Yes.
day. We do have some other coverage to talk about too.
And I think this is probably the piece that you're most excited about.
I'm excited for it
Yeah.
only for the Amiibo fans in the community.
That's true.
I already have all of these,
Yeah,
but
but still,
it's still exciting.
yeah.
We finally have word on the mass Amiibo restocks that have been rumored.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of things to talk about
Yeah.
with this. A while back, we brought to you some information regarding CPSIA updates. And if you're not familiar with that, those are documents that Nintendo puts out. They're safety certificates.
Yeah.
And they essentially say, we have this month, this many months of manufacturing, and these items have passed our safety standards. Parents, you can buy this toy for your kid without it being a problem.
Yeah.
And we saw a bunch of rare Amiibo show up in there. We saw Palutena, Gold Mario, Lucina, Robin, Mega Man, Sonic. I don't think we saw Wii Fit Trainer.
No.
But I mean, we saw a lot. We saw Pit. I mean, there was Dark Pit. There was so many on that list, and at that point, we pretty much know Restock is coming, and either that means we're going to see these things bundled in with a game like they did in Europe, or we're going to see a full-fledged re-release. But a few months passed. I think it was about a month passed since those certificates came out. Nothing really was heard of until yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Okay.
And yesterday we found out that a bunch of Amiibo were being restocked.
Yeah.
And it might have been 2 days ago. I thought it was yesterday. And we hear it from Best Buy.
Yeah.
And it's not just Best Buy putting them up. Best Buy put out a press release on this, and then Nintendo retweeted it. But the big thing is here, we have a lot of Amiibo coming back. Before we get into all of them, I want to first point out Palutena.
Yeah.
Lucina. Palutena we have no information on. Lucina, on the other hand, is coming back as a Best Buy exclusive. And what does that mean? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. I think the fact that she's coming back at all is a very positive thing.
And as of this this recording, they're all still up for pre-order.
Yes.
So it's not like it's a big deal. But yeah, Lucina's coming back as a Best Buy exclusive on top of so many other Amiibo. We have Gold Mario, and I think that's the one that's in the top of everybody's list. And
Gold Mario is one that I was shocked about. I know you had to have been.
Yeah, I have some... as a collector and an Amiibo fan, you know, I don't want to say like I'm the authority on Amiibo here, but
Really?
I know a lot about Amiibo.
Really?
I do.
Oh wait, that's right. You're Amiibo Jason.
Yeah, that's
nice
true.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Happily Candied. You could be Amiibo Candied if you want.
Yes.
But I have a few things, a few opinions on Gold Mario getting restocked. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But we have Gold Mario. I think again that's on the top of the list. We have Pits. We have Sonic. We have Mega Man. We have Lucina. There was a Samus.
Yeah.
Among others. Mm-hmm. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's the list. But let's talk about Gold Mario.
Sure.
So I want to talk about Gold Mario real quick because I am a collector at heart. If you look behind me, you see a bunch of plushies. If you know me personally, you know I have a crazy Amiibo collection.
Yep.
I collect other things too. I collect old games. I collect game consoles. I collect Figmas. Collect things rare. Mm-hmm. I like rare things.
I know that I am a collector too. You know, I'm a collector and I love rare things. And I like knowing that there is this spectrum of common to rare. And it excites me to know that I own something that is desired by other collectors and that fewer in number in the world. And that to me is important as a collector. And I know that not all collectors will agree with that. Yeah. But I think a lot of the ones that we've spoken to or with have agreed with us on that.
So there's a few things on this. I think restocking Gold Mario is by and large a mistake. And again, I think people that don't own Gold Mario are probably like, Amiibo Jason, how dare you?
Yeah, right.
And the people that do have Gold Mario, they're like, yeah, Amiibo Jason, you're totally right.
You still put out the links.
Of course.
You are still giving people the opportunity.
I'm excited for people to get this that want it. I completely am excited. Yeah. However, if you want your collectibles, because I know Nintendo doesn't consider Amiibo collectibles, but they're collectibles.
Yes.
They're collectibles. If you want your collectibles to be sought after, you need to put a certain rarity factor to it. And that does not mean that you should release like 5 or 6 Lucinas. Not 5 or 6, but you know what I mean. Lucina was nearly impossible to find. That's not cool. Lucina is a character that people want to get.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have a character like Mario, where it's in completely perfect supply. And then you have a gold and a silver variant. The variants are where we should start to see the rarity. And that's where we need to, I think, move Amiibo back to. Make the hunt fun again.
Yeah.
Make the option of finding a chase variant of something fun again. And we have SCL Matt over here, the guy who runs Skylander Character List.
Yes.
He knows about chase variants because the good folks at Activision know what they're doing with chase variants.
Yeah.
Do I like Skylanders? Hell no. I don't like Skylanders. I had to play that game for 4 hours on a live stream once. It was not a good time. It was not a good time for me.
There were tears pouring from his eyes.
I think, I know that's my personal
It's just
opinion.
not his cup of tea. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just not his cup of tea.
I bought 4 Skylander Superchargers starter packs. So I've given my money to Activision, okay? I've given it to them. But what Activision knows how to do is create a level of hype. and they had the chase variants. You had this thing called the Tomb Buggy, and this was this really cool like bone car. And they had this bronze version of it.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And I know that like a handful of people wanted to find it.
Yeah.
And every Toys R Us I went to, every Best Buy I went to, every store I went to, I went through all the Tomb Buggies. And I'm like, is this the one? Is this the one? And I texted Jason Greer, oh my God, is this it? He's like, no, man. No, man, that's not it.
That does not sound like Jason Greer at all.
What the fudge, man? That's not it.
What'd you say? Oh, okay.
What the fudge? I said fudge.
Okay, I'm just making sure Matt was geeking out and I was paying attention to that.
So yeah, Activision knows what they're doing with chase variants.
We have to remember something though, and this is something that I've brought up a couple times, and we've talked about it a lot, but was it Miyamoto, someone very big, made a statement from Nintendo, and this was kind of after the Amiibo hype died down just a little bit, and he stated that the original reason behind Nintendo's introduction of Amiibo was not for the collectability. They did not mean for it to be this collectible item that was sought after, that was in a way that made figures hard to get.
Too bad.
The reason behind them was for functionality, because they wanted people to be able to use them at their leisure. Now, no, I trust me, I totally agree with you. I'm just saying this is where Nintendo is coming from. That is their standpoint on that. And to me, the compromise is exactly what you said. Make the Amiibo readily available, all of them except for the variants, because if you have the variants, it raises the hype a little bit more for the collectors out there. So you're actually you're appealing to both sides there. You are giving the players the functionality, and you're giving the collectors the collectability. Why not please both parties?
I want to see the Amiibo community get excited about something.
Yeah.
And I want to see people get excited about finding something that is difficult to find. And again, I'm not saying that release a brand new character and only get it so a handful of people can get it. It's not what I'm saying. It's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Chase variant route is the route to go. Whether Nintendo meant for these things to be collectible or not doesn't matter. It's a completely moot point. They are collectible. That's just the way it is. And we have this whole line of Zelda Amiibo coming out. Could you imagine like a gold version of like Ocarina of Time Link?
Oh,
just one in every box. Oh my God. I would plow old ladies down in the aisle.
No.
I'd be pushing kids over for it. It would be insane. It would be pandemonium, and I'd love it.
Oh my gosh.
I would love it.
I have taken toys off shelves before when little girls are looking at it with their mom, and I'm just like, this is mine.
Yeah.
And it just, it's hard to find, and I really wanted it, and I came to the store specifically for it, and hey.
Yeah.
That's what collecting's about.
Hashtag make Amiibo great again. Yes. I've been jokingly using this hashtag for a while.
You have.
But I miss it. I miss the community. I miss the hype. Obviously right now we have such an amazing custom Amiibo community, and I think they're picking up the slack for really cool Nintendo figures that people want that Nintendo's just not doing. But I'm excited that we're seeing a Zelda line. I'm excited to see Yarn Poochie, and I'm hoping Mega Yarn Poochie one day.
Poochie!
I'm excited to see the Breath of the Wild Amiibo. I'm excited to see Waluigi. Yes, Waluigi and Daisy.
It's amazing.
Boo.
It's amazing how those are the Amiibo that people are excited for. And I can understand why. These are characters that we haven't yet seen in Amiibo form. So why not be excited about them? I mean, as lovely as Rosalina is, we already have an Amiibo of her. So I can see why the hype wouldn't be as big as it is for Waluigi.
Oh, people wanted Daisy.
I know. I remember. Oh, people were so crazy about.
People love Daisy.
I'm a little shocked. I'm the Peach fan. I'm the resident Peach fan, and Daisy just isn't for me. But I'm shocked with the following that she has. So finally, people have this figure that's going to be made available everywhere.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if people were just so like hyped up because it just didn't exist and they wanted it.
True.
Who knows? But
there is that type of mentality when collecting.
We are seeing a great restock happening. Best Buy's the first one to hit it.
Yeah.
From what I understand, October 18th is when these things are going to be hitting the stores, so you can pre-order them now. BestBuy.com, do just a search for Amiibo. You can sort it by what's new, and you can find all of those new Amiibo there. It's incredibly exciting. We also have the Monster Hunter Amiibo coming out in like a couple days, which if you want to import, you can either do from Play Asia, Miami, and Ninden Game, whatever your preferred online retailer of choices for importing. So you have those two. So we do have a good deal of Amiibo coming back.
Yeah, we do.
Exciting.
It's an exciting time.
We have October, November, and December, all new Amiibo, if you want to import, obviously. But October, November, December, and then March, we have Breath of the Wild Amiibo.
Yes. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We'll see. We'll see where this goes.
So Nintendo is starting to make Amiibo great again.
Yeah. Yeah. So your slogan is kind of slowly coming true.
It is slowly coming true.
Slowly.
Anything else you want to touch on the Amiibo side?
No, I think we're all covered with that. I think the next segment here is with Bobby.
Speaking of Amiibo, by the way, just one more plug.
One more.
If you are watching this live, click on the link down in the description below. Go down to our eBay page. We have a bunch of amazing custom Amiibo from amazing artists. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
Stay tuned after the newscast, and we're going to be going over some of these artists with you.
Yes.
Who they are, what they're doing. We're going to show you some pictures of their Amiibo, too.
And remember, 100% of the proceeds from those auctions, or everything, is going to St. Jude directly there. And you can read all of the information in every single eBay listing.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, I'm going to swap out the images on here.
Okay. Sounds good. And then we're going to bring Bobby over here, and I'm going to hop out, and I'll hop back in for the next segment.
I'm going to get a quick image here.
Okay. Bobby. You can probably just go somewhere I was.
All right, folks, I'm just getting an image up here. See, this is the part in the newscast we typically would edit out.
Oh, it's fun. It's behind the scenes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bulbasaur and Bobby.
Bulbasaur. Where'd he go?
He's right next to you. He looks like he's
Oh, there he
co-hosting
is.
the show with you.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Famicom or whatever.
See?
We're gonna be talking about the Famicom.
He's a natural. All right.
You should hire Bulbasaur full time.
I'm thinking about it.
He just
All
doesn't
right.
have enough experience.
There we go. We have it up. Ladies and gentlemen, next on the agenda, I want to talk to you today
Oh, cool.
about the Famicom Mini. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
All right. Real quick, I just want to mention to you lovely folks at home, we are Nintendo collectors. We are Nintendo fans. We love everything Nintendo. I'm a console collector. I don't know how you feel about console collecting.
I've collected. I have an N64, the PS2. I mean, it's not really a collection. It's just the old ones that I have.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to move this over. You might have to speak a little bit louder into the mic, too. Just don't kick the cable out.
Yeah, I'm going to try and not do that.
Because that would
again.
suck. I want to go back down memory lane here real quick. A few months ago, we found out that we're getting a Nintendo Mini console. Fits in the palm of your hand. Connects via HDMI. 30 games preloaded right onto it. It's coming out November 11th in the United States. It was odd that we didn't see any kind of similar announcement for Japan, but just recently, in fact, just a few days ago, we got our first peek at the Famicom Mini. It is literally the same thing, except it looks like the Famicom.
Yeah, different color.
There is so many cool different... Well, you know what? There's variations to it. It has different games. Most of the same games, but it has some different games. But it does have one kind of interesting thing here, and it does not use full-size controllers like the NES Mini does.
Usually those plug-and-play games usually have a mini-size controller.
Yeah.
And they always have different shapes and sizes. I remember a lot of them had like the regular Atari joystick.
Yeah.
That was never full-size either.
It's interesting that the US is getting... Obviously, you can use full-size controllers with it. It comes with one. You can buy duplicates. This one, it doesn't look like you can buy any separate controllers for it. It looks uncomfortable to use, but if you're familiar with what the Famicom was, it did have two controllers hooked up right into it. It sat on the sides, just like in the image that you can see right there, and it had a very short cord. It was a really short cord, and it looks like they're kind of keeping all of that the same.
Yeah, I remember. I think the NES had a short cord too, didn't it?
It wasn't too bad. Not as bad as this.
I've never seen this in person.
Okay.
Famicom.
Yeah,
I've only seen the NES.
Yeah, the Famicom has one of the shorter cords, and
Okay.
it's looks like it's a major inconvenience for most players. But this is it's kind of comical to a certain level because I saw like full size hands playing this thing.
I think the reason they were doing it is because they're aiming more for kids.
Yeah.
'Cause
But it's a 30-year-old console.
True, but like you have the 30-year-olds or higher. Like for example, you would buy it for your kids to play.
I would buy it for me to play.
That too.
I would buy it for me to play. Even for my kid, I think I have a 3-year-old, and even my 3-year-old, I think is gonna have a hard time playing with this. I think the Japanese market and the American market are drastically different. I think they like the idea that everything on this thing is mini.
Yeah.
I think that they're like, oh, it's a complete mini-sized thing, and we can play it uncomfortably. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what the reasoning for it
Yeah.
might be. Because like you said, there's going to be older people playing this, and for example, like the original 3DS for me is too small.
yeah.
3DS XL is great. Maybe they'll come out with a bigger version, but I doubt it. Or they'll maybe have bigger controllers.
Yeah. From what I've seen on the Famicom Mini, and this, by the way, if you guys are curious about this thing, it's sold out on pretty much every Amazon Japanese site like available. There was like 3 versions of it. There was a version that came with postcards. There was a standard version and a version that came with an AC adapter. All 3 sold out. I think you can still import it like on Ninden Game, or you can import it like on Play Asia. But most traditional retailers sold out already.
Yeah, they get really swamped.
Yeah.
The second they're released, pre-orders gone.
I imported one from Amazon Japan. I imported one of the nice ones, like with the
Oh, yeah.
postcard set. I'm half expecting it to get canceled. I think that they're going to change that.
That's happened before, hasn't it?
Yeah. Generally, if it's like high enough in demand, they'll cancel any foreign orders. And I really hope they don't, because I really want this thing.
Yeah, that's gotta be really disappointing.
But-
Once you actually get the pre-order and then not be able to get the actual product.
I was surprised, because generally on the pre-order page, it'll tell you right away if this will ship to the U.S. And it's like, ships to the U.S. I'm like, thank you very much. So it's a $60 console. And I got like rush delivery from Japan, and I paid $69. It was super cheap. Like
That's super cheap.
if it's 60, it was $60 normally,
Okay.
and I only ended up paying $10 to get rush delivery from Japan. Like
Yeah, I guess that's
from
not
if you deal with like importing stores or
Yeah,
importing
because I've never
sites,
imported anything before, so I guess
Oh, yeah, that's
shipping is probably really expensive.
shipping's like usually $25
Okay.
for most sites if you want rush delivery. EMS is like usually $20 or more. I usually go to Play Asia for that kind of thing, and I think I pay like $22 to $23
Yeah,
an
people
item.
have good things to say about Play Asia.
I love Play Asia. I've had lots of luck with Play Asia. Their shipping prices are a little high, but I've never had an issue ever. I've never had anything lost. It's all been in amazing shape. So, but either way, we have this thing coming out. I'm really curious to see. Number one, I want to see your opinion. If you would even consider importing this thing, just because it looks different.
The original Famicom?
Yeah, well, the mini Famicom.
Or, yeah, the mini Famicom. Personally, I've played the NES,
Yeah.
so if I had an interest in like checking that out, I'd probably import it.
Yeah.
It depends on the kind of games that are on it, because everyone has a different taste in games. So if there were games on there that I wanted to actually play, maybe stuff that came out back then that I never got the chance to play, myself.
Yeah.
I would totally be into getting that.
I'm excited for it only because it's one of the few consoles I don't own. I was in Japan not too long ago, and I was going to pick one of these up to bring home, but I had no suitcase space left.
Yeah, that can be a problem.
Yeah, it was an issue. So
Even if it's mini.
Even if it's mini, that's true. I'm excited to pick this thing up. It's coming out November 11th again actually, I think it's coming out November 10th in Japan, so I think it's a day early. But either way, everybody around the world, if you are a Nintendo fan, if you grew up playing these consoles, you have the opportunity to pick this up again. Pre-orders haven't really gone live yet in the U.S. I think they went up at Toys R Us once.
Was that by accident?
No, I think they just put them up.
Oh.
But they sold out really quick. But no other site, I think, put them up yet.
Okay.
So Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, gotta wait.
Yeah.
Stay tuned into Nintendo Wire, though, if you really want one of these, because we have like page alerts set up for like the second these things go in stock, we'll let you guys know.
So if you can't watch out for it, we will for you.
I will sacrifice my sleep schedule. In fact, a few days ago, my alarm went off at like 2 in the morning for the Pokemon Go Plus.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a very minor restock. Like, I only think like 1 or 2 people that were on our newsfeed ended up getting it. But it sold out really quick. But I woke up just for you guys. That's what I do.
That's how dedicated we are.
Incredibly. All right, well, thank you for coming on for the
Yeah, no
mini
problem.
Famicom segment. All
Thanks
right,
for having me.
Lauren, what's our next segment here?
Oh, I'm coming back.
Next, we have some Figmas. to talk about.
Figmas. We are talking about Figmas because we are collectors, like we stated earlier on.
Are we?
We are. We
Are we collectors?
We are. We have problems because we're collectors. We've talked about this.
That's true. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
Welcome
It's
back. We
good to
missed
be
you.
back. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be missed.
All right. I want to briefly mention something here, and I probably should put it up on the screen.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be very nice.
See, this is what I normally do in post-production.
True. And I'm nudging him, going, "Hey, weren't we supposed to do this?" But now you have the joy and the pleasure of seeing it right now live for Customs for a Cure.
Stand by.
Stand by, stand by. But yes, this next segment, I'll just like introduce it very briefly, is Figmuze. And I personally do not own any Figmuze at the moment. There is one, however, that I kind of have my eye on, but I won't get into that now because it's not even Nintendo related. But Jason has some Figmuze, and he's the first one who introduced me to them. And I am now just mesmerized by the quality and the detail put into them. They are definitely probably the best quality Nintendo figures I have seen, in person at least. And Jason can attest to that too.
I can. I'll bring some over. So here's my 2 latest editions.
Oh, well, he's saying, here is 2 latest editions.
So I absolutely love Figmas. I'll let you hold this one.
Okay.
This is Lucina Figma. It looks like a big amiibo, right?
It seriously
it's like
does.
a big amiibo.
Only these are even more detailed. I mean, obviously, they have joints and everything too, so there's going to be a lot more detail on them.
They are incredibly posable. They come with an insane amount of customization options.
Yeah.
This one has like 3 different faces, but this is Lucina. Mm-hmm. This is Link from A Link Between Worlds. Yeah. I have another Link too. I have a Skyward Sword Link. I have a Samus. I have a Pit. I have a Dark Pit. I have a Zero Suit Samus on order. And the 2 amiibo you see on the... Not amiibo. Figma you see on the screen, I have pre-ordered. We're going to talk about that here in just a second.
Yes, they are gorgeous. I would have loved those when I was younger. I like these because, like Jason stated, you can swap out their faces and you can move their limbs and you can add and take away accessories, and that's what's fun for me. I like knowing that I can create a little scene, especially as a product photographer. I like taking my toys out and creating scenes out in the real world with these toys, and Figmas give me that opportunity on a really fun level.
So what we found out was that we do have the Zelda and Link Figmas coming out early next year.
Yes.
And they're coming out on the same day, which is kind of unheard of for Figmas. Generally, at least on Nintendo's side, they kind of wait a little bit to release these things. So you're going to see these coming out on the same day. I wanted to at least give a little bit of time to these, just kind of give you an idea of what beauty they are. I mean, it's we have an article on these on Nintendo Wire, and if you want to go check that out, you can go to nintendowire.com, do a quick search for Figma. You'll find it. These are incredibly detailed. I think they're their best looking Figmas to date, at least on Nintendo side. Princess Zelda.
Oh my god.
Looks so good.
Beautiful.
So darn good.
Do you know what it is? It's the gradient they use in the paint. That's what makes her so sharp and detailed looking. You can just tell within the hair and within the dress, and even the detailing on the piece of fabric that goes all the way down her gown. It's gorgeous. It's utterly gorgeous.
So we have these things coming out early next year. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on these. We just wanted to let you guys know that these things are coming out.
Yeah.
Play Asia, Ninden Game, and again, this was the exact same companies that I was mentioning just a few moments ago. And Amiibo, all of those sites have these up for pre-order right now. So if you do want to get your hands on them, I'd recommend doing that now.
Yeah.
Generally with Figmas, on the Nintendo side, they're not incredibly rare.
Okay.
Pit and Dark Pit, oh my god. They're crazy rare. They're
hard
insanely
to get, which
rare.
means obviously that their prices skyrocketed when their rarity increased.
So if you do want these, we recommend getting them early.
Yeah.
So if you want to pre-order them, it's probably not a bad idea.
I kind of view them a little bit like Nendroids.
Yeah.
And when Nendroids come out, they're pretty affordable and they're good quality figures. But as time goes on, it's harder to find them, and they definitely raise the prices raise, and for good reason. They're beautiful. They're beautiful toys and figures, and so are Figmas.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the Twilight Princess segment.
And next we have Zach coming on for a segment on Custom Conquest.
Why'd you sound like Oprah right there?
I know. I kind of want to follow it up with like some other dramatic background, but I.
Oh yeah. Oh, say it.
Oh, I couldn't think of it.
Oh, okay.
couldn't think of a way to say Nintendo Wire that worked with
Oh.
Nintendo Wire is back. Like it just didn't
It's
work
just
out.
it's such a long
Yeah.
All right, we're live.
We are live.
We are live.
Hello, we are back. We had a few technical difficulties, but it happened during the
I'm
transition.
Ron Burgundy.
Oh
I'm
no.
not Ron Burgundy.
No, you're not
I'm
Ron
not
Burgundy.
Burgundy.
No.
I
Ron
heard he
Burgundy
doesn't
with his Raichu on his
Yeah.
shoulder. Yeah.
I don't know how he'd respond to that. That's okay. But yeah, I think that happened right when I sat down.
That did. Well,
Just want to point out the cords are not on the side
no,
I sat on.
no, but it had nothing to do with the cords. For some reason, something malfunctioned out of nowhere. We're not sure what happened, but everything is running. We think a-okay.
Cross our
Okay,
fingers.
so Jason's gonna hop back over here.
Nobody step on anything.
Jason,
Oh, that way?
you come back over here.
All right, you're
it's
good.
you and Zach talk about custom conquest.
Get up on out of here.
Get out of here!
All right, let me get some custom conquest imagery up here.
Sure.
I don't want you or your cheese. There's no cheese here, people.
I like cheese.
I do like cheese, especially in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
I have not seen that show in a long time.
It's so good, though. It's like the pinnacle of early 2000s cartoons.
Did that show have like a definitive end?
I don't think so. It might have. I'm not sure, though. You know, so many people loved it. I find it hard to believe that it would have got canceled, so maybe.
I hate shows that just don't end like where they should.
Have
end.
you seen, it's newer, but have you seen Gravity Falls?
I have. I've seen a few episodes of it.
He ended it after 2 seasons because he wanted to do it his way. So because of that, like, it's the ending that like it deserved, but it's super sad because it's like my favorite cartoon.
Okay, real quick. Gonna pull up the screen capture here.
Screen cap. Especially because there was a video game themed episode.
Alright, I'll just kind of put this at the end here so you can see the process. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to just mention now, since we have Customs for Akir, we wanted to mention that our show Custom Conquest is back. And if you're familiar with Custom Conquest, you probably know the host TJ. TJ, Dark TJ, Standard TJ, Me TJ. There's lots of different variations.
When I found out they weren't 2 different people, I was shocked.
I bet your head blew up.
Yeah, it did. Especially because I got messaged for the Smash Supremacy. that
Yeah,
was on
yeah.
By TJ, you know, the only one of
Yeah.
those 2. But initially, when I followed him on Twitter, they both messaged me.
Oh my
And
god. That's
so
funny.
I think it was just one of those automatic things.
Yeah.
But so I messaged Dark TJ back. I was like, yeah, I was talking to TJ already. And you guys are or something like that. But then I realized later, I was like, oh,
Oh, I bet he loved that.
that happened. He never pointed it out, so that was nice. But
We do like to bring this up, though, because we're doing customs for here now, and I want to let you guys know what goes into a custom.
Mm-hmm.
What you see on the screen right now, TJ's on the screen currently. He's making one of the customs that are up for auction right now for customs
That's
for
awesome.
Akir. He's doing an entire season of Legend of Zelda of custom amiibo.
that's so cool.
And he's starting with the 8-bit Legend of Zelda amiibo. And yes, we are getting an official 8-bit Legend of Zelda amiibo in December.
Yes.
This is more of a 2D 8-bit version, not a 3D 8-bit version. So it's a little bit different.
It's the love child of the Game & Watch amiibo.
It is. And it's
and the 8-bit Zelda.
very true. It's something you
Link.
can make on your own, too. And it's such a cool series. You can see it right up on the screen right here, what goes into it. I am blown away by this series, but I definitely wanted to at least give it a quick plug on the
definitely.
newscast beforehand. Have you watched the series?
I've seen a few of them. I haven't caught all of them yet, but they're on my I
On
have
your
the
watch
notifica-
list?
Yeah, on my watch list.
All right, I'm gonna rewind it here real quick because I think I started just a little bit too late. There we go.
And there you can see the amazing bass.
It is a very cool
We
bass.
take the bass and we put it over. I don't think that's how he sounds. I haven't seen this one yet, but that's Dark TJ. He wouldn't talk like that anyways.
That's true.
Yeah.
We are working on right now trying to get Skype working so we can actually have Skype conversation with some of these custom artists at some point later tonight too. But right now, at least on the screen, you can see the process of what goes into a custom amiibo. If you're curious, you can see it on our YouTube channel right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, which you have to be, it's the only place it is, you can subscribe to us that way, and you can watch every episode of Custom Conquest whenever you would like to.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah, it's a cool series.
yeah, I completely agree, and it's something that I'm incredibly excited that's back. There are some really cool custom amiibo coming this season. I think my favorite one, and I'm allowed to say this, I think...
I was about to say, are we going to get a sneak preview announcement of one that we don't know is coming yet?
You know, we've teased it before on the channel and on our Twitter account. We're doing a Triforce Heroes
That's so cool.
custom, and it's going to be the 3 stacked Link amiibo.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool, and it's incredibly tall. So
I'm always a fan of tall amiibos.
TJ walked me through what went into it, and he showed me like the process, and it's pretty insane.
So his wizardry, basically.
Absolutely.
Wizardry required.
So if you want one of these for yourself, you can either bid on one right now. We're doing one right now during Customs for a Gear. Otherwise, we actually have one up for a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway
cool.
with Zelda Universe right now, and you can pick up the red version of the 2D 8-bit Link amiibo. So if you want to do that, you can do that too. Head over to our Twitter page. It's either on Nintendo Wire or Amiibo News. You can find it in both spots, and you can follow the rules to get it there.
And just a reminder about bidding for them. Everything for whoever wins, it all goes to St. Jude's.
100%.
So if you wanted an excuse to bid for it, you kind of got one now because think of the kids.
Gotta think of the kids.
Gotta think of the kids. Anyways,
There you go. That does it for the Custom Conquest section. And Lauren, you want to come back for the outro?
Yeah.
outro.
Outro.
You give like an awkward peace sign.
We'll make sure that everybody jumps in at one point
Okay.
for a big group shot.
I'm
Well,
gonna
just
take
fill it
back. I'm
up.
gonna take
You
back
take
this
it back.
awkward
Take those
peace
back.
sign. I'm
There.
These.
As well you should. As well you should.
Give me that.
I promise you, folks, we are going to have a better newscast. And when I say better, I mean
Wait,
like
what?
a more
This is a beautiful newscast.
more
I
content.
like this.
How can it be better if I'm not there?
We're
I
going. You can
know.
come when the NX gets announced. We're gonna have so much more content for you, and
yeah.
we can't wait. It's gonna be amazing because we don't want to have newscasts that just talk about restocked amiibo and Pokemon all the time.
True.
We want to talk about new games. We want to talk about new hardware.
True.
We want to get hyped again,
Also
and we're
true.
this close.
This close. Only a couple months
Probably.
away. Kinda,
We're
sorta.
probably this close.
Yeah, maybe.
We might not be that close.
Maybe like 10%.
They could cancel the whole thing.
Bye-bye.
I hope they don't. But either way, if you guys want to find any information on me, you can find me on my personal Twitter account at AmiiboJason or over at NintendoWire.com. What about you? Where can we find you?
You can find me at Happily Candied on Twitter. I'm also over at Nintendo Wire. Jason and I are both on that About page. So if you want to find out anything about us and what we do for Nintendo Wire, go to that About page.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun content on there, and you're going to meet the rest of the Nintendo Wire team.
Like, I'll be sleeping in tomorrow. That's what I'll be doing.
Is that on the About page?
It's going to be on the About
Okay,
page.
I'll make sure to add it. Also, let's talk one more time about St. Jude and tell, wrap it up a little bit. And we want to thank everybody who has donated this far and everybody who has just simply tuned into the stream.
I haven't checked
Yes.
in a bit. I could take a look here
Sure.
to see if there's any new bids here. Not bids, excuse me. Donations.
We are incredibly grateful for everything that everyone has contributed so far. And I mean, we even have some time to go. The fact that we were able to raise money even before the event officially started was just wonderful. And we are so happy to be able to give to such a wonderful organization like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
You got it. And again, they're doing outstanding work. 100% of everything tonight is going to St. Jude.
Yeah.
Same thing with all the auctions we have. They're going to be ending in a few days. If you want to see what those amiibo are, look in the listing down below. Click on our eBay page and you can find them there.
Yep. Sounds good. Okay, I think we're going to bring everybody
Bring 'em in.
here. Okay, everybody, whoever wants to come. Don't wanna?
Don't wanna. You can't make me.
Come on, you guys can sit over here. Just jump in. It'll be a nice, quick outro. There we go.
Jason, are you in the outro?
I am just getting the screen
He's
back.
good.
to where it
Yeah.
needs to be.
So you guys will both try to squeeze in on this side.
I'll go like railing on it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Make sure to jump in. Make sure to look over the camera.
Just don't touch any cords. For God's sakes.
Bobby.
Touch them all.
Damn
it, Bobby,
I know.
touch the
Just
sword.
one time.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Come on over.
You don't have to. But you
Get over
can.
here.
We got Matt. That
Yeah,
we were
Matt.
talking about before.
Yes, and Matt was not in this newscast, but
He was in spirit.
he was here in
I
spirit.
sort of talked to him.
Here we go. Okay, so we're all gonna say bye, and I want to say thank you to all you guys for helping.
So thank you,
Yes.
honestly, for watching the newscast. This was always fun. It's always fun to do a live newscast.
It is.
I'm probably going to have to go back and edit just a little bit, but You can definitely find us over at Nintendo Wire. We have a lot of our family here with us right now. We have some really amazing people. If you want to find Matt, you can find him over at SkylanderCharacterList.com. Awesome guy.
Yep.
If you like Skylanders, he's the guy to talk to. But yeah, there you go. That's it for another fantastic episode. Have a good morning or a good evening. Technically, I always say that, but now it has to be a good evening because I know when you're listening.
Yes.
Have a good evening, folks, and we're going to be back with some games and giveaways for the rest of the night. We have an hour and a half left in our stream.
Yep.
Bye, guys. Even though we're not leaving.
We're not
leaving. Wrap it up.
We just needed to wrap up that
Shut it
newscast.
down.
Okay, we are good to go. So what's up next on the agenda?
I believe we had Player's Choice.